Yo, what's up? Welcome back. We got Len Carmichael here. He is my mentor. He taught me how to use a patch bay. He taught me how to use all this gear. And he just opened this new studio, Landmine Studios 2.0, still thinking of a new name.
We're in the former Tracks East location in South River, New Jersey. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to have Pete here.
I'm stoked because Len is like a traditional tough guy, hardcore producer, but also works on like real rock bands and tracks live and then engineers it out and does all live amps, live drums all the time, and obviously uses a ton of gear.
I've been buying gear since 2001. So some of the stuff I have is from then, and then some of the stuff I have is new. It's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
He's got credits with bands like
Swashbuckle, Lifeless,
Year of the Knife,
Fury of 5.
So hardcore Len is gonna help me make probably a shoegaze pop punky song today.
Because I don't actually listen to hardcore anymore. It's not like my focus.
All right, ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
My mentor, my best friend.
Yo, I'm happy to have you here. You were with me at the old landmine, and now you're at the new landmine, which is in the old Tracks East building. But I think we're gonna rename the studio.
First of all, I met Len because I was supposed to build him a studio desk.
Yo, you built me a studio desk.
That didn't fit through his door.
But I took it apart and I put it down there. It's still down there in pieces.
So I screwed over Len with a desk because I knew how to produce bands and write songs, but I didn't know how to engineer properly, and I didn't know how to record properly, which are two different things.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know that I know how to record properly either. I just do it my way because I learned on my own. You learn in a vacuum and you just do the things you do. I didn't have YouTube as a place to learn because I started in 2001. Show me this first riff that you were playing because I kind of liked it.
I'm gonna show it to you with the Zen
Box.
Woo!
It's a little much for what I think we're doing.
That's sick.
Stick on the first thing.
And maybe it's a longer progression. Could be everything that you like. Kind of a weird progression. Okay.
That should be the intro. When you're going into the verse, then go into the...
Okay, got it. Is it you want chorus or am I doing left and right?
Chorus, because this is just a scratch anyway.
Cool. Wanted to say, everyone can go. I just like you today. Wanted to go and like you when I never went home. When I say that I'm on the door. And I never wrong. What do you think? You're the producer, sorry.
Yeah, you're telling me what the
I'm the artist! Len, what do I do? How do I make a song?
What we want to do is take that intro and make it the bridge to getting back to the verse. Everybody wants to go. Why
Alright, should we do
complicate
some
it?
drums?
Yeah, let's do some drums.
Dude, speed run. Loudon mics on the kick and the snare. Good start. Loudon, hit up Len.
But I have the most important equipment in a fucking studio right now, and it is your vacuum.
Wait, real quick, are you looking for more interns for the studio?
I am looking for interns for the studio, but I really need you to be dedicated and not just say you're gonna do it, but come actually do it.
Cool, we'll put the email in the description.
In the kick, Beta 91, and the Loudon kick mic. Yeah, there's also a sub kick. I really think it brings a thunder to your drum kit. On the snare, we've got the Loudon snare mic. I really dig that mic, but on the bottom, I actually pulled out the Biodynamic M201. I started using the D6s because I really wanted like thunder out of my toms, but then what I would find is that I didn't have any of the stick sound. So I bought 3 Earthworks mics. So I use those to make sure that I can really hear the sound of the tom getting struck.
When I first met Len and he was showing me all his miking, he used like clip-on mics on the top and I was like, interesting. And you're like, well, yeah, because I want a clean transient and I want the most amount of separation. And then he was like, yeah, and then I get a lot of power from the bottom. So one can say that Len is a power bottom.
overheads. I'm using the AKG 414s for the overheads.
I also just noticed that I put that mic back in crooked. I'm only 6 feet tall. I can't reach that high.
SM7B on the hi-hat because it's dark. I have had this specific AKG C430 since I started. It's like the second mic I bought.
Now that you said that, it means I'm probably gonna hit it with my stick and break it. And then the most important mic.
The Dick mic, the PR40, I really like that mic.
And then up at the top, I was just working with Chirp Dusty Engineering here. So we got the R10 on the low side, and then we have the Fathead, the gold mic up there on the top end. The cool studio in New Jersey, literally.
Here it is.
Saves a day, lifetime.
Hate breed snap case. So it's a 8 count, and then you have a 1 bar place to do some cool ass drum fill.
It's not gonna be that cool.
It better be really fucking cool.
All right, hold on. God, I'm so old. I still got it. When it gets to the pre-chorus, I'm gonna switch to ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
All right, what you got to think about though is that when you get to that point, if you're building up, the thing we put in as the chorus is down.
Right.
So I think you go a little less ah. Yeah, that.
I did the wrong fill.
I think it actually should go.
Okay.
Like leave it as a naked empty hold.
Naked empty hole.
Yes.
Got it. Good.
Cool.
I'm so sweaty, but I think I did a good job. That was maybe one of the faster recording sessions. Bass?
Yeah, let's do bass.
Live amp?
Yeah, let's do live amp.
So we have an amp out there. We have some pedals on the front end that we're gonna set up in the guitar chain as well. That's why I put them all out. We're using a Balaguer.
Into the DI box, the Grace DI box.
Just to capture a clean DI.
Just to capture a clean DI, and then we're
off.
splitting that off the through.
And then Swollen Pickle, maxed out, and then chorus, maxed out, because I think it would just be cool on bass.
Yeah.
And weird. And then a reverb if we want to do some leads or something after the Hall of Fame. Nice.
And then from there, we're sending straight up into my 1968 Sun 200S.
Cool. All right, let's go into the other room. It's wired into the wall.
Back into the other room.
MTV crib style.
We're using the Warm WA-47 Junior. Push comes to shove, it's not that big a deal. What's more important is performance, the attitude you have while you're playing it, and does it sound good? Are they in phase? Did you set your amp right? Like all those things
Does your
matter.
bass have fresh strings?
Fresh strings on it.
Yeah.
Those things matter so much more than what mic I picked. What do I want? I want a mic that's like dynamic and right on the center of the cone. I want the condenser right on the center of a different cone, but coming out of the same cab. And then I wanted something that's gonna pick up the low end. Sometimes I might put a room mic up. It just depends on what I want. And maybe when we go in there to listen to it, I'll change my mind and come out here and put one in. But right now we don't have one, so that's what we're going with.
And then it's running into the API warm audios, because that was what was open.
Yeah,
on the
that's
Snake.
what's open. I mean, again, you could make a billion decisions that like, oh, I think this matters, but really, again, performance is what matters. So you better play it right.
I will try.
All right, let's go.
Wow, that chorus is crazy.
Slide. That's it?
Yeah.
Oh no, we are cut. I think you should play it a little more laid back.
Less picking all the way
Less
through.
picking all the way through.
Okay.
Throw some chords in there and fill out the space because the guitars are ringing and there's like, it felt a little empty. And just like play it lazy but on time. The and note doesn't have to be perfect on the tempo.
Yeah.
Your downbeats need to be.
All right, bass is done.
Boss is done.
Let's set up guitars and then we'll do the same rig rundown.
Funny story for you, the guitars are already set up other than plugging in a head.
What? All right, so we're in another one of Len's secret layers here.
So I'm using a diamond cab. I find that this is the loudest, tightest, but also cab that has the most low-end bloom.
V30s in the speakers?
They are V30s. I don't know whether they're like the ones that are sought after or not sought after. I don't know, but they sound fucking good. That's what I care about most. They sound good. So
You got 4 mics running on this thing.
yeah, why not? Like, have fun with it.
57, 421. What are those two?
That's an Octava, and then I was already using the Royers for something else, so I grabbed the MXL ribbons.
I want to show something that is distinct for somebody who is legitimately a pro at recording. Len, as you can see, taped up his 421
With gaffer's
over
tape.
and over again because the clip on the 421 is the worst clip in all of existence.
But basically what I will do is I'll send either a pink signal, white noise, something through the amp into the cab, and then I'll record each one of the mics like at the same time. I'll record all 4 like with everything turned up. All the volume is the same. And then I will then start to check the phase, and I'll start to move the mics around. So I'll either come in here with a pair of headphones, or if I'm feeling lazy that day, I'll load up auto align, but auto align 1. But I will pull it up on each one of them, run it, and then it'll tell me how far out of phase it is, and I'll come in here and I'll actually move it generally how much until I get it till the machine tells me it's in phase, and then I'll play with it in there. But these will all sum to one line coming in the machine. So I'm gonna make some decisions based on the blend of these 4 mics, but I know that they're in phase.
This is where Len locks his clients that don't pay him. Dude, thank you for carrying that. If I carried it, my back would be messed up.
My back's messed up. So 17 is gonna have my DI, 18 is gonna have my amp sound. So if I unlink it and I turn off the left-hand side, I no longer will hear what's coming in on that. So now only thing you're gonna hear is the amp signal, but I'm gonna have the DI and the amp signal on one channel that I could edit together at the exact same time, should I need to edit them.
Woohoo! I like feel the rumble very slightly.
Very
on the
slightly.
Floor.
Tight chugs at the beginning on the first 4, and then slightly open. When you get to the bridge, then you fully open. I always love this.
Dude, that's the end of the record. I think we should
We
just
need-
add a lead to the
I think
chorus.
to the chorus, that's it, I agree. Do you want to switch into a different head for this?
We can, yeah.
I want to use one of the Soldanos.
I have no commitment issues. I can just rip that
just-
one.
just
That
pick
used
one.
to be my favorite when I worked here or at
This
the old
one?
studio. Yeah, the one with the skull.
Yeah, this one's banger.
Almost.
Let's switch guitars. You want to do that same concept again?
Yeah, I think just the same thing. So find
I don't
the
know.
harms of
Yeah,
it.
find the harmonies. of
Yeah, that's really cool. That's like that band White Reaper. All right, you watch Len grind me out on the drums. You watched him.
Oh my God, he sucked so bad.
You watched him mic up the cabs. We did some tone searching. You did a lot of patching, running through a bunch of really cool gear, and it sounds massive, which is cool because the Zen Box sounds good. We use the Zen Box for the scratch.
Right.
But with using real guitars, it shows you how much further you can get with not as many layers and not as much stuff.
But that doesn't mean that you can't get there without these things. They're just tools, and it depends on how you use it. At the end of the day, in my opinion, it's performance.
But mainly you use the Zen Box on every channel, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, like, Len has to clean up the track a little bit. We did some rough editing. We did some rough leveling.
Yeah.
But we're going to let it rip from the top. And hopefully you feel the same energy that we were feeling as we were creating the track. I got to finish out my vocals. And then we got to also finish out the mix for the song. But that's Len's sauce. Everybody drink up. Make sure to follow him on Instagram and all that stuff. And his email will be in the bio. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
See you later.